Welcome to the Prisoner2Painer Podcast, stories of inspiration, where we talk about mental health, addiction, religion, becoming a business owner and self-sufficient, for what, when, where, and why. Join us and we can be your local hope dealer.
Inspiration and dedication. I came a long way from sleeping in them cages. I got my life back. I feel amazing. Life's a book, don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work leads to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned in to the Prisoner2Painer. Prisoner2Painer. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner2Painer.
And now, a word from your local hope dealer.
Perfect. Welcome to the Prisoner2Painer Podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott, and today joining us all the way from Missouri, I believe, Amber Brune.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being willing to tell your story. I really appreciate it. Here, one of our favorite things is we get to ask from childhood and learn more about who you are as a person than you are as a mayor. So my first question always is, what was your family dynamic like growing up? Brothers, sisters, stuff like that.
I had one sister, she's 2 years younger than me, and then my mom and dad, and they're still happily married, and we all still live within like 10 miles from each other.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Were you born and raised where you're the mayor of now, or were you born somewhere else?
Yeah, I was born and raised here. My mom taught at our school, and my dad worked on base in Fort Leavenworth, or a little farther, but yeah, graduated in 2010 from our Platte County High School, and then left for a few years for college and to follow my husband's job. But then we had twins, and there's nowhere else I wanted to raise them than back home with my family, so we moved back.
Awesome, man. Well, that's great. And you're Platte City, Missouri, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Cool.
we're right by the Kansas City airport.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, see, we're all the way based up in Michigan, and I thought it would be really cool. I wanted, to get people in Jackson, but then we've been trying to branch out more and more and more. So we've had some people from out of state, but you're the furthest, so I'm really appreciative of this.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, of course. What was your favorite childhood memory? What's the thing that you go back to when I ask that question?
So we did spend a little bit of time living out in the country. Because my mom taught here, we could still attend school here, but we were actually in a different district for a little bit. And it's probably just the country living, just riding the four-wheeler, like the freedom at such a young age, or it felt like the freedom at such a young age to swim in the ponds, live that kind of different lifestyle for a little bit. And I just really appreciate that time.
Oh man, I can only imagine. We grew. I grew up out in the sticks, comparatively speaking, to where I live now, and I miss it. Yeah. And then always on the reverse side of things, what was your least favorite childhood memory?
I can't remember anything bad. My life was great. We are still very close, and that's why I feel so lucky, because we still want to be so close to each other, and that's because of how we were raised. Yeah.
No, that's a huge blessing. Here we always relate, never try to compare. I still like being close to my family. I feel like some families, it's they only get together one time a year. I'm constantly trying to see my family. It sounds like you have a similar experience with that. So.
Yes.
Oh, that's man. Did you have any dogs or anything? Did you have any pets?
We did. We had a dog most of our life. Okay. When we left the country, she was used to that life, and we didn't want to have to bring her back into, a subdivision. So she actually stayed with the property.
That's awesome, actually, man. This question has become a staple for our show. What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Oh, Rice Krispies with sugar on top. I mean, just classic. Okay. Simple.
Mine's always been Fruity Pebbles. So it's like, it doesn't matter from how old I am. I apparently like my cavities in my mouth, I guess.
That's my kid's favorite, I'd say too.
Man. Well, cool. And I love episodes like this. I've learned I do better without a piece of paper in front of me. We did a little research. You are a very intelligent lady. You don't need me to tell you that, but the profession you were in before this is like, holy cow. I mean, you're very intelligent, and I'm excited to get to that part. But I have a problem trying not to jump ahead, but I
You're right.
Who was your favorite teacher back in grade school?
I mean, my mom it'd be hard not to say my mom. I had her for 5th grade science, which was kind of weird because do I raise my hand and say Miss Montgomery or do I say mom? So just like a weird time in my life, but also, I'd say her. It was just an interesting year. And I think 5th grade was so pivotal in my development and growth. I really kind of nailed in where my friends were and where my friends weren't, and just learned a lot.
Awesome. What was your favorite subject?
Oh, for sure, math.
Okay.
Or science as well. I enjoyed the experiments, the hands-on kind of things, learning style versus just listening.
Yeah, no, man, awesome. This is it's hard because guests that I have up here, I know about them and I know of them. So some of these questions might seem like they don't make sense, but I really just like learning the guests more than I like doing anything else. Did you living there for most of your life, you're leaving and coming back or whatever, do you think that was a big reason why people wanted you as their mayor?
I think people just wanted change. I think that Platte City has been run by the Good Old Boys Club for so long that they just really wanted something different. Like someone told me, I didn't really know much about you, but I knew you weren't part of that group. And so I think that that's really what led to my successful win.
Awesome.
Just something different.
No, man, I've not found a good way to ask this question, but I still ask it. How is it like, it's a men-dominated world, if I agree with that or not. How is it being a woman running for mayor? I mean, holy cow. However you want to take that as a question. But
I definitely thought that I had less of a chance because I am relatively young and a female in a small, very red state or red county. And I was shocked that I won, but happy that people wanted change. And I think not only just in Platte City, we're seeing that, but a lot of incumbents around us have been beat out. And I think that just shows that we're ready for a little bit of change everywhere.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I just got into politics. I'll say I'm not even into politics. I interview everybody. I've stayed nonpartisan, and it has been a pleasure. And but I'm noticing this year all of the candidates two are very much in the head of it because there'll be a change of pace. First black mayor, or first black mayor, woman mayor. It's a time for change because at the federal level, it seems like everybody's having an issue, but at the state level, I thought it was the same. Now just getting into this world, it's like we can change at the state and the city level. Federal might be a little harder, but so this is awesome to hear.
Yeah, I'm the second woman. The first woman was mayor when I was born, 1992. So I feel happy that I'm the second and following behind some great other people.
Awesome, man, cool. What was the name of your high school that you went to?
Platte County High School.
Platte County High School. Okay. Did you have a normal experience in terms of prom, sports, stuff of that nature? Hell, I guess even school politics, if that was maybe your route when you were that young.
No, I swam competitively from 5th grade through high school. I would do like 4:30 morning practices and then go to school and then sometimes go after school. So my life was pretty much swimming in school, especially when our meets are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or can be. And then in high school, I decided to graduate a semester early because I was just done. And so why stick around?
Yeah.
And so I didn't swim my senior year, and my husband was already, or my boyfriend at the time was already in college. So I spent some time, visiting him and just working extra for that last semester. So kind of different.
Boyfriend in high school and husband now. So you guys were high school sweethearts. That's awesome.
Yeah. He has been through every crazy decision that I try to go for, and he's just along for the ride.
Yep.
Very supportive.
Man, that I feel like that level of support sometimes isn't recognized enough. If it wasn't for my wife, this would not be a thing. So I understand how much support that can give you. Man, do you take anything that you learned from swimming and use it in what you do now, like discipline? Clearly long hours, but does anything translate over well?
I mean, I'm sure it laid the good groundwork for myself, but I think now this is the first time in life where I don't feel like I know what I'm doing, which is kind of crazy to say, but I knew how to get a good grade. I knew how to be a good nurse. I knew how to run a successful business, because really that all relied on myself and myself alone, so I could do it. Yep. This is a experience where it's like a team project, and learning how to not just take it and run to make it successful, but to make those people feel empowered to also be part of the successful team has been a learning curve for me for sure. So, swimming, it's mostly a solo sport.
Yeah.
So this is, like I said, kind of the first time I'm doing a team project that I really need to rely on other people to help bring it forward.
No, that's awesome. That screams leader to me, knowing that you aren't used to it and you can work on it. I mean, that screams that they made the right choice. So, I mean, at least from my mind, wow. Do you guys have a weak mayor system, or are you the head bureaucrat where you are?
So the mayor doesn't vote unless there's a tie. Our board of aldermen, which is 2 members from each ward, so we have a total of 6 aldermen. Yep. They're the deciding vote.
Okay.
Gotcha. The mayor just kind of leads the meetings, keeps things going, but they're the people that make the decisions.
Gotcha. Yeah, we are on a similar style of mayoring, I guess. So I was curious if it was different or not. Man, so you graduated high school early. That is incredible. And so clearly you graduated. How was walking the stage? Mine was underwhelming, so I'll start with that.
Yeah, I did it for my parents, I'd say. Gotcha. So I still walked with my May class, when they all graduated. Yep. And it was nice because there were a few of us that have been here K through 12, which is amazing. But it was just a moment for my parents more than I ever cared for it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I don't want to assume, but I will ask. No, it's not in the Bible Belt, but I'm still going to ask: Is God anywhere in your story, or not? I guess.
So my husband and I say we don't believe in anything, but we believe that there are good teachings. So our children actually go to a Catholic school, and we're very on board for we say prayer at dinner for them, and we're letting them learn and choose their own way. Yeah. But
that's awesome. No, I ask simply because I'm a recovering Catholic is what I call myself. But it's just always a question that I have, because we've interviewed pastors, Buddhists, we've interviewed so many different types. It just becomes one of the questions now.
So we did Catholics. We attended Catholic church growing up.
Gotcha.
But my dad kind of stepped away. He was a knight, and some things were happening, and so we all kind of just stepped away. And it was good for the time, right? Like the teachings are not bad. The morals are great. It just wasn't for us.
No, I get it. It's a good light at the end of the tunnel, almost, of like, man, they do things right, but as a all day, every day, I guess I'm agreeing with you. I don't got to over-explain it. I totally agree. So awesome. What was right? Well, I guess not. I shouldn't ask that. Not what was right after school. When was your first job? Did you work during high school?
Yeah, I worked a lot at the YMCA as a lifeguard. I mean, just swimming and lifeguarding kind of all go together. So I worked there. Even like started training the guards, worked my way up, and then would end up certifying lifeguards, CPR certifications, that kind of stuff. So I became like a trainer, and then that was all through most of college as well.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Okay, man. So you stuck with the same job. That's a lot of people, at least my age, when I was young, I job jumped a lot. So that's cool to hear. Where did you attend college if you did?
So I went to Missouri State, followed my husband. I attended there for 2 years, realized it wasn't for me, and so I moved back home to Kansas City. We actually lived down on the plaza, and then I went to St. Luke's nursing school, and it was a great experience. So it was 2 more years, and I loved my time there, and the St. Luke's system was amazing at the time. And so my first job out of college was at St. Luke's as well.
Cool. If you could go back to one day in history, just to observe, you cannot change anything. Go back to one day. What day would it be and why?
That's a hard one. I don't like within my life or within just history of the world.
History of the world that you can think of.
I don't know. I think probably some of like the women's rights.
Cool. Yeah.
Things that were happening, just to see how they let it change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, heck yeah. No, that's it's funny. Somebody said the Last Supper, not to meet Jesus, but to be like, well, what the heck, Judas? And I thought that was funny. So you went to nursing school. I guess what made you decide that?
I don't think I knew what I wanted to do. I don't think nursing was for me. Like after being on this side of it, I don't think that was the career path for me. But it was a way to get in, and I knew that there were so many options within nursing, right? So I could have constantly changed if I didn't find what I liked.
Yeah. And
so it was just an open career path, I would say.
Awesome. No, man, and that's so cool to me. Like really that's I mean, a call to service almost, which I got that feeling from you anyways, Mayor, and it seems like, lifeguard, it's like that's, being in the business and helping people to me is fun. So, but cool. What was your favorite thing about going to nursing school?
It's a tough 2 years, and so you kind of really stick together with the cohort. Cool. And try to make it through together. Mm-hmm. And then learning from the nurses on the units was it just didn't feel like just a professor was talking to us. We had more one-on-one time.
Mm-hmm. Almost feels like there's skin in the game. I mean, just the way you're talking, and like it puts a part of you in the game almost. So that's
yes, yeah.
Cool. What was your least favorite part?
Healthcare in general has kind of turned more towards a hospitality than a caring, and so we get burdened with the lunch trays and that kind of stuff, where we become janitors, cleaning out the rooms. They just wear so many hats these days, and I don't think that's not what was intended for nursing.
No, I agree 100%. That's when we found out that you were a nurse for some time or a nurse for a while, I was excited because I get to ask some questions that I feel like a lot of people are thinking. First being, well, it's not a question, it's a statement, but then we can talk about it, I guess. But people get mad at the nurses, and it's like, man, it's the doctor. And not even saying it's his fault, but it's like the nurse is the one to catch it all. It's like, it's not the nurse, they're waiting on the x-rays, or it's the doctor, or it's, so whatever the reason is. I guess I say all that to say, is there one time that sticks out to you of just somebody that was super rude to you that you would like to share with us?
No, I feel like I've kind of just let all that go.
Gotcha.
They're experiencing the worst days of their life. Yeah. So I try not to take that to heart. Yeah. But I think it definitely prepared me for the role I'm in now, because I do get a lot of that brunt anger, not anger, but just they're complaining sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not anything that I can physically change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Other people within City Hall are the ones that deal with the things, and I appreciate all they do. They are obviously undervalued as well. And so it's just I just take it and the best way I can.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're not mad at me personally. It's just they're frustrated with the situation that's come up.
That is very big of you. With like I said, I'll say it 100 times. I know you don't need me to say that, but that's awesome to hear that you can cognitively think this is their worst day. They don't mean it. That's incredible. Wow. Yeah. Well, I guess after learning that, God, I had a question and. Geez, I guess I forgot. I apologize.
Okay.
Well, because my line of thinking was, it's like you're a nurse, they're having a hard day. You said you translated that over. Geez, I it'll come back and it'll come out of nowhere. But well, cool. Okay, so being at nursing school for 2 years, you get out of nursing school. Do you choose to work at a hospital, or what does your career look like after that?
Yeah, I did neuro ICU at the Plaza downtown in Kansas City for a year, and it was a great experience. They have a nurse residency program, which really helps bridge that time period where you're going from student to nurse on the floor by yourself,
Awesome.
But you still felt very supported in that transition.
Cool. So perfect. And it's funny, it came right back to me. So dealing with people on their hardest days and cognitively knowing that's very big of you. What did you do for self-care? Because I know it's a lot taking on all that. So was there a certain ritual that you may have had?
No, I think that during that time period, it was really hard. My first year, I worked nights. I was not handling it very well. I was like a zombie just walking around, felt nauseous 24/7. And so I was not really taking care of myself. Once I moved to my next job in nursing, I definitely was also away from home, feeling the stress of that. And so mental health for me has been medication, and I'm just very honest about it.
Yeah.
And so it's been something that I've probably been on and off since that time period.
I can relate so much to, not to the nursing and the mayor, but I can relate so much to I needed medication for my self-care. As much as I needed to do self-care, and the medication helped me first and foremost. So I can highly relate to that. Wow. So first job, cool place, learning how to transition into being a nurse on the floor. That's incredible. Is there anybody in this time, like a very influential person that you may have learned a lot from?
I just think all the nurses on that unit, a lot of them, that unit is specifically kind of like a stepping stone to either going back to school for CRNA or for NP school. So those women and men that were on that unit very much continue to learn their entire life and wanted to help those coming in learn as well. Cool. So they were the best resource, and I appreciate that time because I don't know if I would have made it through if I didn't have like great people working with me.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Awesome. What came after that? What was the next step in your career?
So we moved to Arizona, and then I was working at a trauma ICU out in Chandler, Arizona. It's about 45 minutes away. And during that time was great because I really needed that 45-minute drive to decompress after.
Yeah. It
was a different world out there than I was used to, dealing with a population that I had never dealt with, never cared for. And so it was a lot. Man,
I can imagine. And then being in a trauma field, I won't even ask, like, I could only imagine. I can only imagine a lot of people are not meant to see that. So thank you for your service. I mean, seriously, people it's funny. People think doctors, firefighters, and, cops and like nurses save lives too. Nurses are just as important as a firefighter or a police officer, or keep going down the list of, life-saving services. So, wow. Was there a favorite cafeteria that you had from any of these hospitals?
So when I worked nights, we almost never saw a cafeteria because it was closed, of course. But during my nighttime, they had insomnia cookies, and sometimes we'd order cookies at like 3 a.m., which was a highlight of the day.
Yeah.
Working in Arizona, a lot of them just ordered out. We ordered in all the time, which was not the healthiest, but got us through.
Yeah. You know, it's cool. I think people up here in Michigan are going to find some unique things about this. And one of my favorite questions that I came up with is, it's not even like, up here in Michigan, it's cold, it's hot, we get all the seasons. How was there ever a time that like the AC went down in the hospital? Like is there anything of like super excruciating heat? No, like I heard Arizona's super hot, so
it is hot. Yeah, and people love to say it's a dry heat, but it's still just hot. I don't ever remember any time of that kind of power outage because that would be catastrophic to the whole building. I'm sure they have generators to protect themselves as well. No, I don't remember any power.
No, you're
Thank
good.
goodness.
Yeah,
Thank goodness.
I just like being nosy as well. I'm a nosy person too. I just like well, I can relate on the 45-minute drive. I did not realize how much I needed it until I worked closer to home. Now I'm back to a 45-minute drive, and sometimes it's crucial. I mean, you're in a way different career that you probably need to decompress more than me just painting cars. Like you actually, had some probably some hard things that you've seen. So.
Yeah, some of those trips home were either blasting the music really loud or like just zoning out in complete silence. Those are probably the hardest days.
Never in between. It's funny. There's never an in between for me.
No.
Yeah. If you could have dinner with one person from history, doesn't matter, dead or alive, from Jesus Christ all the way to your mom or whoever in between, who's the one person you would have dinner with and why?
These like history questions are so hard. I kind of just live life in the moment and try not to think about what's been done in the past. Mm-hmm. I kind of look forward all the time. So these history questions are so hard for me. I
like the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's an answer. Yeah.
I just look forward.
Awesome. No, I mean, hell, that's all these questions are just to elicit a good, a response, and that is a hell of a response. But I will add. Normally, when I add to that question, I say, "What are you having for dinner?" So my question is, "What's your favorite dinner then?"
Oh, I like Noodles and Company. Do you guys have a Noodles and Company?
We
okay.
There's a Space Cow, but we have some. Yeah.
Yeah, that or Jersey Mike's, like a plain basic turkey sub. I know that sounds so silly, but just basic.
No, man, people laugh at me. I don't know if you go this far. I don't like sauce, so I'll order a Big Mac with no sauce, and everybody's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't like Thousand Island." I'm like, "That's funny." Yeah,
I get that.
Cool. So from the first spot to the second spot, we're working in Arizona. You're working in the trauma unit. 45-minute drive home. What comes after that?
So actually, during this whole time, when I first started nursing, even right out of college, I was building a business alongside that. So I was creating a business selling badge reels to nurses. It was in a time where our hospital went from you could wear anything you wanted, scrub wise, any color, patterns, to all nurses had to wear navy blue, which really took away our identity and our personalities within the atmosphere. So people were really looking to their badge to show who they were. Yeah. And so I started making the interchangeable badge reels, and I grew that business alongside my time here and as well as in Arizona. Cool. So it actually got to the point where I decreased my hours at the hospital to part-time, kept going, and then I tried to go PRN, which is just an as-needed situation, and they wouldn't let me. And so I said, okay, well, I guess my time here is done because my business had kind of outpaced my nursing at that time.
Awesome. Man, that's awesome. What's the name of your business, if you don't mind me asking?
It's Bad Beauties. I just sold it here during the campaign period, actually. I had it for 10 years, and after so many years out of nursing, I kind of felt disconnected and kind of, I don't want to say like a fraud, but like kind of like imposter syndrome that I'm not at the bedside anymore. And at that time I'd been out for probably 5 years. I just didn't feel connected anymore. And so I tried to work through that multiple times and I just couldn't get through it this last time. And so I said, we'll see what's next in my life.
It's incredible to me. There's so many people out there that construct things, from art to businesses to, you know, helping cities. It's I love it. I just love it. And I like my favorite saying is I won't take constructive criticism from anybody who hasn't constructed S-word. So that being said, somebody that's constructed something, it just means so much more. Man, I love what you're doing, or this or that. So I love what you're doing.
And I'll say that I was one of those kids that like planned out everything so specifically. Like I thought I'd get married at a certain age, have my first kid at a certain, like very, very like on a timely matter. And the best things in my life have been the ones that did not have like a plan. So the fact that, were never part of my vision or plan. So the fact that we had our twins from IVF was amazing. The fact that I grew a business that I had no idea I was going to ever do. And then kind of just the timing of relinquishing that. And that's kind of how I jumped into this mayor role. It was, I just had the opportunity and I said, the best things are the ones I haven't planned. So let's go for it. Man,
congrats anyways on the kids. Awesome. I am also an IVF baby. My mom did not have children, and congrats 100 times. Congrats. That's so awesome. How old are your twins?
They're 6 now. They're going to go into first grade.
Awesome. So now, you know, I will always compliment women. I won't go as far as anything you give a woman, they make better. So going back to that old saying, but thinking of this, you're wearing not only the hat of a mayor and of a, you know, a business owner probably at that time, you're also talking to mother. So you're switching from hat to hat to hat. I think that's just incredible to me.
The only way I can do it though is a supportive husband, and like I said, the family that is around us. That's the only way I can have the time and know that my kids are loved wherever they're at. And yeah, so it's really, they help wear the hats a lot too.
Gotcha. No, that and humility, that without it we'll get nowhere. So that's awesome as well. So you're done with the nursing. You were transitioning into part-time. You're like, man, maybe I sell this business. You sell the business. How does life look right there? Like, how do we get into the mayor race, or what does life look like?
So actually it kind of goes back 2 years. I never liked politics. I never cared about government. I mean, it wasn't until we bought this house in Platte City and got our first sewer bill that I was like, whoa, these decisions that they're making really do impact me. And so I kind of started to ask questions. And then about a year later, I started following the city very heavily. So I would attend most city hall meetings and just ask to be involved in any way possible. Like just give me a seat at the table on any of the committee or whatever, right? And they wouldn't. They also didn't like to see me coming in with my questions that I had. So I just kept showing up and asking the questions. And so I actually ran for board of aldermen last year, and they found someone to put up against me, and he won by 4 votes, which was all in the plan, because then I ran for mayor, and instead of having a seat at the table, it's my table. So yeah. And I kind of told the outgoing mayor that I said, you know, if you had given me a seat, we wouldn't be here today. Yeah, exactly. So
by 4 votes. That's insane. That is literally insane. I do want to say something real quick then. To anybody listening or anybody that does listen, to think that 1 vote doesn't matter, I think that's why a lot of kids don't vote. Truly, or younger people. I really believe that's why a lot of younger people don't vote. Oh, 1 vote doesn't matter. Well, now 1,000 of you thought like that. Now 1,000 people didn't vote. 1 vote does matter.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Great point.
That's awesome. We have a similar lady here. I won't say similar in any way besides she used to show up every other Tuesday with questions, and you could just see the disdain on the city council's face every time she showed up. And I support her because she's actively trying to change something. So, wow. So now that we're getting into the mayor part, I'm super excited. I know you just became mayor, but my one of my first questions: who helped you market, and what was your marketing strategy? Because I stumbled across a picture of you up here in Michigan, so I think you got a big reach. I think you reached out pretty far.
Yeah, I was going to just run by myself, just do the campaigning by myself, but a small group of small business owners here in Platte City were really pushing to create the PAC and help support me.
Awesome.
And so I've eventually said yes, because I realized that, okay, I do need some help.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is really good at the social media, Facebook ads.
Yep.
So she helped really with that, which I think got the biggest reach.
Gotcha.
And then one of the other members here on our board, actually,
Mm-hmm.
he owns the Going Postal in our town, which is like the hot spot. I mean, like, everyone goes in there, they mail out stuff, they talk, they chit chat. And I think my name got pushed out there a lot as well. So he was a big part in, because word of mouth, I think, is, for a community our size, word of mouth means a lot.
Gotcha. How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm 34.
Are you the youngest mayor of that place, or of Platte City?
Yeah, I can't find any data on that. There's a list of mayors, but I don't know how to find out how old they were at the time.
Gotcha.
I'd have to do a lot of research.
No, you're good. We were just me and Katie, my wife, and then you look young, but then we heard your age, and I just wanted to add, but I was like, that's young. Like, that is really young to be, or at least I feel like that's really young to be mayor.
Yeah, and I thank you.
Yeah.
Just trying to set that example for my kids that you can do anything, and I think that's another big part of why I became mayor is I never got up there and just tried to complain. Like, I tried to bring solutions and other ways to approach it, because I don't like when people don't have a solution for what they want. So I encourage my kids to find a solution.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to work toward that solution too, not just show up and expect other people to do it.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to put in the work.
Exactly. Wow. Do you have another job while you're mayor, or are you just the mayor?
So the mayor in Platte City is not a full-time job.
Yeah.
There's a small stipend, but I actually have declined to take it. So I'm not taking any of the money from the city. Cool. And right now it's just, this is my part-time thing. I'm not doing anything else on the side.
Awesome. No, we also get a very small stipend for the mayor, so that's why I asked that. We don't think the mayor makes like $10,000 a year here or something like that. It's not enough to live on. That's for dang sure.
No.
Wow. So some of our problems that we're facing, just it'll make sense when I ask the question. So we're facing gun violence, very, very much so here in Jackson. We're facing gun violence, and we're facing a homeless problem just downtown specifically. The problem is that people don't want the homeless people living downtown like Washington, D.C. had. And then our roads. Those are like the three selling points. It feels like to every mayoral race we've ever had, to be honest with you, is what it feels like. But that's what we're focusing on right now. What were the big issues when you were getting into office?
So the biggest issues that I saw was just that the city, in my mind, was just wasting time. So they would bring up a topic, talk about that topic, and then it would disappear.
Yeah. And
then in 6 months or so down the road, it would come back up. And some of these things they spend money towards, but then don't ever finish it. And so it costs more money coming back around.
Yeah.
And I was just sick of watching the same loop happening.
Yep.
And our biggest one at the time, and it sounds so silly, but it's trash. So we still provided our own trash service from the city. We had, but when you look around and you start to research, everyone around us has outsourced years ago because of the fact that it's not cost friendly. We have maybe 1,900 houses, And when you're thinking of needing to buy a new trash truck at $250,000, $300,000, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So, that's funny. That was one of our things. We were going to go down to a one hauler service, and we could not. We ended up not doing that, but that was a topic of discussion as well. So that doesn't mind boggle me. Like that was a huge topic of discussion for some time here as well. Wow. So how did you fix it, or how are you working towards fixing it, if you don't mind my asking?
So they had actually put out an RFP, which is just putting it out to bid. And this was probably close to a year ago, or more than a year ago at this point.
Gotcha.
And for whatever reason, the Board of Aldermen never saw those bids. They deemed the whole process invalid and that it had to be scrapped and started over.
Okay.
So back in April, we put out another RFP, and the bids came in May, and our aldermen voted, and we have the new trash service company starting next week, or this week. Sorry, this week. Yeah.
So you fixed it. So it sounds like you became mayor, and maybe it wasn't just you. You said you have teams, but you sure pushed it along. It sounds like that.
Yeah, I think that the city administrator finally got it out there, and I mean, it's really him, right? Like, he is the one doing the day to day. It's not me doing the day to day. But yeah, just kind of staying on. Keeping those things in my mind, even the small stuff, like following up with some of the residents and things like that, is just constantly what I think takes to get it going, keep it going. And so, yeah, just keeping on them.
Awesome. No, that consistency is key in anything I have found in life. No matter what you're doing, if you're consistent, you will probably find success, or your definition of it anyways.
Yeah.
1,900 homes. How many people live in your city?
5,000.
5,000. Okay, cool. Wow. What is when I invited you on, just curiosity, because I feel like a lot of people have a thought, and I do like asking this question. When I invited you on, is there anything that jumped into your head that you wanted to share? Like, man, when I go on that show, I want to say this. Was there anything like that? And if there was, would you like to share it?
I think that it's just pay attention to what's going on around you.
Yeah.
I admire the people who can just keep their head down and think that everything's going great, and they're probably the happiest people. Like, I wish that I could be that, but I'm just not. And so, like I said, if you see a problem, find a solution for the problem and be willing to work at it, or just don't say anything about the problem.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I want to make sure my kids know, like, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And and if I failed, I mean, that's the other thing is, you know, when I failed at running for alderman, I was like, well, I can't let my kids see that I just stopped there.
Yeah.
So doing it again.
Wow. Well, and you got a better position out of it anyways. So it worked out better. So, yeah. Awesome. Man, no, that's super cool. When did you get sworn in?
April 28th.
Awesome. What has been your favorite? Has there been a favorite day that has stuck out to you? Maybe a fundraiser, or maybe a chili cook-off, or something like that. Has there been a favorite day since you've been mayor?
I think I'm really looking forward to July 4th. Just the Chamber of Commerce here puts on a great event, and I'll get to bring my kids out there, as well as stand in the Platte City little booth that we have, handing out popsicles to the people, and I'm just really looking forward to that day.
Awesome. No, that's super cool. So 5,000 people is, not a huge place, but I've been in places with 5,000 people. I mean, you got a decent school, decent. What does your town look like? A couple gas stations. What does your town look like?
We have one of the busiest quick trips on the highway around here. Okay. And long time ago, I'd say, oh, I'm from Platte City. And we were also, oh, you have the Orange Water Tower. So we're known for our Orange Water Tower and the quick trip. But we have a lot of small businesses that are trying to change downtown. Cool. And they're doing a great job. They're renovating these old buildings that have been here since the 1900s. Yeah. And we just had an Italian restaurant open past week. And I just really look forward to what's next to come in those buildings.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. It sounds like, I won't say that, but you sound like us a couple of years ago. Our downtown was we were trying to vamp it up, and about 10, 15 years ago, and now it's like we're thriving, or what we wanted to look like, restaurants, stuff like that. So that's really cool to hear that you guys are heading towards, trying to get more businesses, trying to do more. That's incredible.
What do you think the turning point was for your guys' downtown?
I really, honestly, I don't know. There was one day, so we did a 25-year plan of like, it's called Go Jackson or Grow Jackson. So there was an idea of let's revamp this part of the city, fix some roads up over here, do certain things that'll make people want to come to downtown. Really what I think it was accumulation of a bunch of things. A mentor of mine, Rick, bought maybe 4 or 5 buildings, put a couple bars in them. And then people just followed suit. Now there's Tilted, an arcade bar, sports bar, Mexican restaurants. I think it was like one person saw the vision, and then other people started to see the vision as well. You said it earlier. You can't really teach that of seeing the vision. You either do or you don't. And I think once people started seeing it is when that was the turning point.
That's amazing. I'm glad your guys' downtown came back to life, because some downtowns never recover. And
So I'm glad you said that. So ours came back to life because ours was awesome. Then it was non-existent pretty much. I mean, nobody even cared about it. And now it's coming back slowly but surely. Was there a time that yours was really booming as well and people left? Or are you just trying to get to that point?
Yeah, there was a time that it was pretty much vacant. We also have our courthouse, our county courthouse is downtown. So we have a lot of lawyers in some of the buildings as well, which those are not businesses that people are high traffic going into, right? So it's a balance between needing places that they can eat. So all those people that are stopping for lunch from the courthouse can eat. And we need night activities as well. So a bar went in, and it's a beautiful bar. We have a virtual golf links, but we just need more options. Mexican, like I said, the Italian restaurant just opened, but it's gonna take a little bit longer. I think.
No, but that's awesome. No, that's incredible. Our courthouse is also downtown, and I think that is some of, not to talk too much about us, but I think that's some of the homeless issue is all the services are downtown too. So it's like, so I'm kind of vocal about it, but I'm trying to tell these guys, how can you be mad at the homeless when all the services are downtown? It's like, that's a question to me too. We don't want them downtown, then why are all the services downtown? I don't get it, So.
Yeah, one time we had a little bit of an issue when I was talking to the small businesses that the people would get released from the jail and they didn't really have anywhere to go. They didn't have any funds to get out of Platte City because they're not typically from our city. So it was just, you had to be very cognizant of location for everything.
No, I agree 100%. Before I get to our wrap-up questions, we ask every guest the same question. That's how we kind of keep like a nucleus to this, how we make everybody kind of be related or, relatable. How long are your guys' terms for mayor? 4
years now. It just got voted in, I believe last year. It was voted for the 4 years versus 2.
Awesome. Well, wow, man. I mean, just incredible. What is your thing you're looking forward to the most? Was there a goal or a plan as mayor besides fixing the garbage, which you already did in your first year? So, is there anything that's next?
I would really love to know how to get more people involved. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Just an easier to stay involved, because I'm sure if you look at any of your guys' meetings from, your guys' board, it's sometimes 100, 200 pages of paperwork. And that's not something that most people have time to dig into. So quick, easy updates for people to stay informed. And I'd love to be able to get them in the door to hear what they actually have to say. Because oftentimes what I'm finding is that, again, we have the flock system. Do you know about the flock system?
No, I do not.
Okay, it's like a camera that right now can scan license plates and know if you have like a war.
Flock, you said FLOCK?
Yes,
Yes, I do know that. Yes.
Okay, so the last mayor and board, they approved it. So they've been up for probably close to 6 months now. But but now people are upset about them.
Mhm.
And it's like, we should have had these conversations before.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's funny you say that. A flock camera, they found a guy that was on a high-speed chase, which was going against directly what they said they were for, and we got into a big uproar about it as well. But I'm glad you said that. How do you get people engaged? Because what I have noticed is it's the same 20 people every time at City Hall. It's the same 100 people commenting, and I'm like, 5,000 people, and we're only getting 100 people engaged. It's funny you say that. I was curious about how do you even fix that? Like, how do you go about fixing that?
So I don't know exactly how to fix that problem right now, but I do know that there are people out there that want to be involved. So that when I came on as mayor, there were a few positions on some of the committees that their terms were up. So I needed to find new people, or those people would probably just continue to stay on, right? Yeah. But it's time for new. And so I put out there on socials that we were looking for volunteers for these type of committee positions. Awesome. And the old administration would have led us to believe like, oh, no one wants to be involved. No one's out there that wants to volunteer. But I had quite a response. And I actually have like a list of people that want to be involved the next time that we have vacancies. So I have to believe that there are people that want to be involved that just don't know maybe where that role stands. Yeah. And those Board of Aldermen meetings are not conducive to conversation. They're very much you're asking your question to the board and not getting a response. Yeah. So the other thing that I've done is I've created a mayor's listening session. It's the first Monday of the month where it's just come and talk to me. Come and talk, ask your questions. I'll be as candid as I can, and we'll try to work through it together.
Yeah. I'm glad you just said that. I learned from everybody anyways, but I'm glad you just said that. It's not always how people don't want to get involved. They don't know how to. I guess that didn't cross my mind as much as it should. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's just not approachable. The typical meetings are, and so having the low stakes mayor's listening session just feels more approachable in my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Man, that's awesome. Last question before I ask our wrap-up questions. Do you guys deal with a substance use disorder down there a lot? It seems like Jackson has quite the problem with drugs and alcohol. Do you guys seem to have the same issue?
Luckily, I feel like no. There are parts of Platte City that I do know are susceptible to those, but for the most part, I don't see it. And I've had ride-alongs with most of our officers, so I feel like if there was a big issue with that, I would have heard about it. Yeah. There's just a few little spots that maybe we have a lot of transient people, meaning they come here, they're doing different jobs, and so they're located at some of our hotels for a little bit. Yeah. So there are some issues that arise there, but for the most part, I don't believe we have a large drug problem.
No, that's really good. It sounds like you guys have a really nice place to live. So that's awesome. I mean, truly, that is, and I don't want to make us sound bad because we're not a bad city, but we seem to have that issue, and me being one of them. I mean, I was a drug addict and alcoholic for a long time, and I got sober, and I've been sober 3 or 4 years, but not everybody gets that, so I've seen it maybe more, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Maybe I've seen it more than what your average person would have because I was in it, so maybe that's why I see it so much. So
congrats on your sobriety, though. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. Man, this has been incredible. I really hope we could talk again in the future, maybe before you're done being mayor. Maybe in a year or two I can bug you again. This has been incredible. Our wrap-up questions are all the same. I think, like I said, I think it's like a nucleus. It makes everybody relatable. The 150 people we've had on here now have something in common, I guess. And I'm trying to make bridges anywhere that I can. So my first question, what is your definition of success?
My definition probably is if I'm proud of what I've done. I don't think I'm chasing anything for anyone else, but for myself.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's incredible. What does legacy mean to you?
probably how my kids act. Like the fact that I teach them the best teachings that I can, so that they are out there in the world, hopefully making themselves proud.
Yeah. Awesome. And then my last wrap-up question, if you had one word to sum up your whole journey, just one word, what word would it be?
Resilient.
Beautiful. Amber, thank you so much. This has been a privilege, more than you'll know. That this has been phenomenal. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, Nathan.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to save your number because I really will bug you again in a year or two. Perfect. I was awesome. So you have a great day. We'll end the live stream, and I'll just hop off here. But I'm looking forward to. I'm glad we finally met each other. One-on-one and face to face. This has been great, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep.